Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down one of the most transformative and, let's be honest, hyped-up technologies of our time, artificial intelligence. We're going to cut through the noise to give you a real sense of what it is, how it actually works, and the incredible impact it's already having on all of our lives. To really get what AI is all about, you have to go back to this wild, almost sci-fi idea that started it all. What if we could build a man-made Homo sapien? A machine that could actually think. This is the huge question that kicked off this entire field of study. So to really get a handle on AI's power, here's what we're going to do. First, we'll pin down what it actually is. Then we'll explore its different flavors. After that, we'll peek inside the engine room to see how it learns. And finally, we'll look at how it's already reshaping our world. Okay, so at its very core, what are we talking about? AI is really the science of making computers think and act like us humans. We're talking about the ability to learn from things that happen, to use logic, to understand complex stuff, and to solve problems, all on their own. All right, let's dive in here, because here's the thing. AI isn't just one thing. Not all AI is created equal. To make sense of it all, we basically categorize it in two key ways. First, by what it can do, its capabilities, and second, by how it actually functions. So first up, let's talk capability. The AI you and I see every single day, that's what's called weak or narrow AI. Think Siri, think Alexa. They're fantastic at one very specific task. Now, the big goal for a lot of researchers is general AI. That's a machine that could think just as flexibly as a human being. And then there's strong AI. This is the future, hypothetical stuff, an AI that could actually surpass human intelligence. And yet, that's the one that makes some people a little nervous. The other way we slice it is by how it works, its functionality. So on one end, you have reactive machines, like IBM's Deep Blue chess computer. It only sees the board right now, it has zero memory. Then you take a step up to limited memory AI. This is what you'd find in a self-driving car. It can learn from the recent past to make better decisions. The future goal here? Theory of mind AI, which could actually understand human emotions and psychology. Wild, right? So this all sounds great, but how does an AI actually learn anything? That is the big question. So let's head into the engine room and see how this all gets built, because this is where the real magic happens. The best way to think about this is like those Russian nesting dolls. The biggest doll on the outside, that's artificial intelligence, the whole broad concept. You open it up, and inside you've got machine learning. That's the main method we use to get to AI by teaching computers with data. Then you open that doll, and inside you find deep learning, which is a super powerful type of machine learning that can solve really, really tricky problems. Now, machine learning itself comes in a few different styles. You've got supervised learning, which is basically like a student with a teacher. We give it a ton of labeled examples, and it learns the patterns. Then there's unsupervised learning, where it's more of a detective. We just dump a bunch of data on it, and it has to find the hidden connections all by itself. And finally, you've got reinforcement learning. I think of this one like training a dog. It learns by getting rewards for good choices and penalties for bad ones. So why do we call it deep learn? Where does the deep part come from? Well, it all comes down to using deep neural networks, which are inspired by the structure of the human brain. A simple network might have one layer of processing, but a deep one has many hidden layers stacked up. And that structure is what allows it to find incredibly complex, subtle patterns in just massive amounts of data. Okay, so now that we've been in the engine room, we can see how all these powerful techniques are being used in almost every field you can possibly imagine. I mean, we're talking literally from the soil under our feet all the way to the distant stars. And the impact is just unbelievably widespread. I mean, it's helping farmers pick the right seeds for their soil. It's helping doctors diagnose diseases faster from scans. It's helping schools find students who might need a little extra support, helping banks catch fraud, and even helping astronomers discover whole new planets. Let's just zoom in on agriculture for a second. Take a look at this number, 35%. Now, what on earth could that possibly mean when it comes to farming? That is the incredible increase in crop yield that farmers in one study saw when they used an AI system to manage their irrigation. We're not talking about a small tweak here. That's a huge gain in efficiency. And get this, it also saved water. That's a total game changer. Okay, now let's switch over to education. 19,500. It's a massive number, but what it stands for is something really, truly human.
That's how many students an AI model flagged as being at high risk of dropping out of school in just one single district in India. And because they were identified, counselors could intervene, teachers could provide support, and they could get help before it was too late. That's AI potentially changing thousands of lives.
So here's the crucial thing to remember. AI isn't just about doing tasks faster than us. Sometimes it's about seeing things that we humans simply can't. By digging through mountains of telescope data, an AI found a new planet, Kepler 90I, by spotting a tiny signal that human eyes had already looked at and completely missed. And all of this incredible power, all this potential, well, it brings us right back to that powerful idea we started with, strong AI. And it really forces us to face a massive question about our future with this technology. The idea that machines could one day surpass human intelligence isn't just some plot from a Hollywood movie. It's a concept that some of the most brilliant minds, including the late Stephen Hawking, treated with extreme caution, warning that it could be a threat if we don't develop it very, very carefully. And so that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. As we continue to build these amazing tools, we have to remember we aren't just creating better software. We are actively shaping the very definition of what intelligence is and what our place is going to be alongside it. The real question isn't if AI will change the world, but how we all choose to guide that change.